Hello and welcome. So today I'm going to be talking a little bit about my light setup for seed starting. I'm completely changing everything from last year. Last year I did everything in our basement bathroom, which was great for the amount of stuff I started, but I don't have the room in there this year. I'd have to literally take out part of a wall and redo the sink to have enough space to fit my shelves. So we've relocated to what was my sewing room and is now my seed starting room. And I'm pretty excited because I have this really nice big window right here. Lets in a lot of light. This is south facing, so I can line plants along this windowsill. I've got the shelving behind me, which I'm going to show you in just a moment. And what I chose for lights this year, I'm using the same things I used last year, and I was pretty happy with what I had for an inexpensive setup. And then I added a couple of new things that are similar this year. So let's take a look at what I've got going on, and yeah. All right, so these are the shelves that I set up for seed starting this year, and I had these in the garage. We've had these for a couple of years for garage storage and what have you. They are what they are. Eventually I want to upgrade to nicer, pretty wood shelves that are stained to match. And this room was blue 2 days ago. I decided I could not take the blue. I didn't like the blue, and I wanted something that was going to reflect the light back, so I painted it this white color that I had in the garage that I think the previous owners left behind. I don't recall buying it. I might have, but it was leftover project materials, which, you know, I love to use leftover stuff and get as much out of my product as possible. So put it up on the wall, and it's a really pretty creamy country white, and I like it. And it does its job. It's reflecting light off the wall back onto my trays. So this shelf is going to just be for extra supplies because I do need to be able to move it because our boxes are right behind there for power if the power goes out, so we can flip the switches. So I need to be able to move this shelf. So this one's lightweight, but I'm just going to store extra stuff on there for, you know, extra trays, extra things for floral designing, and I have some picture frames down there that I haven't put anywhere yet. But I keep up here, because this is magnetic, my thermometer. I just put a heater in this room. We are in the basement. It gets really cold down here. Our heater does not reach down here. So I put a heater in here, and I got a little thermometer to keep watch of that. I have a little basket with some Sharpies, some different clippers, scissors, things I might need to adjust my chains on my lights or mark tags, you know. This isn't hooked up to the lights just yet, but I'm using this timer I got off of Amazon. I'm going to get another one. This has been amazing. It's got 2 outlets on it. I used it all last year. Everything went great with it. It kept everything on schedule, so that was nice. I got some clear plastic Jiffy lids. These did not come with my trays. There's a local garden center local to me that sells all these individual pieces at a really good price. So I picked up a whole bunch of these. I have a whole bunch more out in the garage. I'm still washing and sanitizing everything. So I have a lot more of these outside. I've got several trays also outside. I have these set up so I can see how many trays I could fit under this light system, because I just got this light system set up today. So I got a couple of trays. These are the trays I'll be using for most of it. I also have some trays that are only like, I think I want to say 12 cells per tray. I'll be using for herbs and stuff. And then I've got my bottom trays for watering. And before we get to lights, the only other thing I have over here that I'm using that's not plant specific, because I don't have any of my fertilizers in here yet. Everything is still outside. I'm still working on bringing everything in. So I just got this room set up. As I got this at Lowe's, and this is a concrete mixing bucket. It was, I want to say $6 at Lowe's, and this is what I'm going to be putting all of my soil in so that I don't make a massive mess in this room. Alright, so on to lights. So these ones I used last year. These, I want to say, are 3200 lumen shop lights. They are hyper tough. They're from Walmart. They weren't very expensive at all, and they did great. My stuff was beautiful last year. The only issue with last year's seedlings, which I will talk about in another video when I talk about the seeds I'm starting and what I learned last year, we had a weird cold snap in the spring and I didn't get stuff out soon enough. So, but the lights, they did their job. They did exactly what I needed them to. I had beautiful, rich colored plants ready to go out in the garden. They were forcing flowers already. It was great. So I have 2 of these ones that are the 3200 lumen daylight bright shop lights. And then this year I bought 2 more, but they had these 5000 lumen shop lights, which are going to be suspended from the ceiling for this shelf. I don't have the hooks yet. I'm working on that. I gotta get those probably tomorrow. I have them, I just don't have them up yet. And when I hang those, a lot of these little signs will move. I just had hooks up there and nails already in the wall, so I threw stuff on top of them. I also have these little guys, and if I'm remembering correctly, these were 13 together. I think they're 1300 lumens. They are not ideal. Last year I grew herbs under them. I might not keep them. I might try and get something else. They were all I could find when things got crazy last year and people got really into seed starting, and I could not find any extra lights anywhere, so I took what I can get. So I'm probably going to replace these ones, but I have them here for right now because I wanted to see what size light I needed to fill that gap. And then down here I've got some clamp lights. I've got a couple of these. This is not all the clamp lights I have. This is what I started with years ago when I first started seed starting. I started with these little clamp lights and daylight bright bulbs. It works. You do what you got to do. So these are just going to be for supplemental lighting if I need extras. If I find a light to put here that I like, I'll probably get a second one for down there. And then along the bottom, I don't plan on putting any seed trays unless I have to. So I don't plan on putting any lights there. I want to use that to store my bags of soil, my fertilizers, my watering supplies, my tray. That'll all be under there. This should be plenty of space for what I'm starting in the 72 cell trays for this season. And if I need more, I'll pick up another light. These lights, these Hyper Tough 5000 lumen shop lights, they were on rollback at Walmart when I was there the other day for $18. And I didn't pick them up, but I decided that I had to have them just in case they ran out, because last year around seed starting time, bare shelves for lights. So I did an order pickup and just went and got them. All right, so that's my setup for starting my seeds this year. I'm so excited. I actually love the idea and the act of starting seeds and growing in the house a whole lot more than I enjoy outside. And I like growing outside quite a bit. But when it's still freezing outside and it's still snowing and it's gross because we're in West Virginia and the weather is gray and everything's dead for a very long time, when you have a room that you can walk into that is warm and covered in beautiful green plants, and you know that you grew all those plants from a teeny tiny little seed, that's my favorite. I love that. That made my entire winter last year magic. So I will always grow inside, even if every time I put them outside they all die, because I love that beautiful, bright, color-filled room that you walk into and you know you grew all of those things from a tiny little seed. That makes me so happy. I'm going bigger this year. Last year I kind of played it safe because I didn't know we were still new to this area, and I have 2 toddlers, so I didn't know what I'd actually be able to handle, and I didn't want to go crazy. So most of last year was focused on pumpkins and peppers. We had a lot of struggles last year, but I've learned a lot, so that at least, you know, was useful for last growing season. And I'm pretty excited for this growing season because I have a lot of plans and I have a lot of ideas, and I've learned a lot, and I wrote down a lot in my journals, and I am ready to take on this season, and I'm ready to fill these shelves with beautiful green plants. I'm going to be starting some stuff pretty soon, but there are perennial flowers that need to be started early. They're still going through cold stratification. So thank you for joining me today, and we will see you next time. Thanks for watching. Bye.